What is up, you guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mackenzie. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. So today's the day, you guys. Look it, I still have this grinder inside the box. I have not even taken a peek at this thing. If you recall, I bought this thing way back, what was it, on like Black Friday, during all the Black Friday sales, because I think I got like free shipping. So in my mind, that meant, oh, perfect time to buy a new grinder. You guys know me, I like trying different things. I wanted to try a different grinder. I know you guys know that I am a Gryphon girl all the way, so I figured this time I would bring something completely new to you guys. I did not buy a Gryphon grinder this time. I got something else and I bought it with my own money. It was not sent to me. They do not know I'm doing this. So that's what today's video is going to be, you guys. We are finally going to be opening up and taking a look, unboxing this brand new grinder. Once we get inside, you guys will see what grinder I purchased. So if that sounds like something you're into, let's get started. All right, guys, I gotta be careful here because it says right on the back of this box what kind of grinder this is. Like I said, I got this from Rainbow Art Glass. I'm gonna keep you guys further away just because it's such a big box, and then once we pull it out, I'll bring you guys in a little bit closer so you guys can get a close-up look at this grinder. All right, guys, and right on top, as soon as I show you what's sitting on top, you guys are gonna know or find out what kind of grinder I've got. As you can see, we've got the Magna Shield from Inland Grinders. So here is the Magna Shield. This is a glass grinder accessory from Inland, which means I got an Inland glass grinder. This is a tongue twister, Jesus. So it is a Magna Shield. It's a magnifying lens, the largest shield available, high impact acrylic, fits most makes and models, grinder accessories from Inland Grinders. So this is what was sitting on top. Let's look at the grinder. So we've got some more pieces here. It looks like we've got our secondary platform if you want to do different types of bits. Oh, nice. I mean, they don't look great, but it does come with some extra bits and pieces which you'll need to hold your sponge in place. Let me show you guys a close-up of these because it comes with an inch bit grinder and it comes with a hole bit. So let me pull this out so you guys can see what I'm talking about. They definitely look like a regular coarse grinder bit. It's 1 inch. Like I said, they just look a little, I don't know, this one not as bad as the hole bit, but you guys will see what I'm talking about with the hole bit. Like, this looks used except for the actual bit part. Like, I want all of my brand new pieces to look very clean and nice. I mean, again, obviously it is. The actual grinder part looks very sparkly, shiny, new. There's no markings on it. It definitely is a new grinder bit. It just doesn't look it, so I don't love that. So we've got all these accessories. And of course, inside here, we've got the actual grinder. So let me pull this grinder out and then I'll bring you guys in a little bit closer and we'll go over all of the piece that comes inside this grinder box. Okay, so now that this grinder is out of the box, I'm sure you guys can see that there might have been a little bit of an influence on why I picked this particular grinder. As you can see, it is black and white and I absolutely love that. Again, I wanted to get a grinder that I thought a lot of you might have and just something completely different than any of the other Gryphon grinders that I've had in a larger work surface. So it being black and white is absolutely just a plus in my opinion. So let me bring you guys in a little bit closer and I'll show you everything that came inside this grinder box. Alrighty, so you guys know the drill. Before we get to the fun stuff, let's go over the not so fun stuff. Again, I ordered this from Rainbow Art Glass. I ordered this on 11/27. It shipped 11/30 and it was delivered 12/1. So it was delivered December 1st, which is actually a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. I was pretty concerned with how long it was going to take for processing and shipping, but it was actually quite quick, which I was very, very happy with. So like I said, I've got the Inland Wizard 4 grinder. It was $289.95. Because I ordered it on that Black Friday time frame, I got free shipping. So the shipping would have been $13.70, but I got a $13.70 discount. So the total I paid was in fact $289.95 for this grinder, which I'm happy with. Right off the bat, this gigantic shield I'm absolutely in love with. Love that it comes with multiple bits. I'm excited already. I can't wait to dig into this grinder and to actually start using it. So now let's go over everything that should be included inside this box if you are to order this grinder as well. So right inside this package came the instruction manual, your register your product, and all of these little bits and pieces right here. So right off the bat, register your product. I will always recommend that you guys register your product. I will admit I am pretty guilty of not doing this, and it makes it much more difficult if something is to ever go wrong with one of your grinders. So I will absolutely suggest that you guys register your product, take advantage of this little piece of paper, and hold on to it if you guys do ever have a problem. So registering your Inland Craft machine is essential to facilitate warranty related requests. There are 3 ways to register. Obviously you can scan the QR code, go online at inlandcraft.com/product registration, or over the phone 248-583-7150. So I'm definitely going to be registering my grinder, and I'm going to hold on to this piece of paper if I'm ever to have a problem. So inside this was also the instruction manual. Let's open up to the actual machine details page so we can take a look at everything that should have come inside this box. Okay, so number 1 is the grinder housing itself. So that is the actual base of the grinding machine. That is this whole black area you see at the bottom of the grinder here. This is the whole grinder housing itself. So the coolant reservoir tray is number 2, and that is this area right here. This is where all of your coolant or water is going to sit inside of your grinder. Number 3 is the storage compartment, which is really, really cool. So right here on the front of your grinder, you get a little storage compartment. This is genius. How often I am having to stop in the middle of grinding to turn around and grab an Allen head, or to grab a different bit, or to get a new sponge, or whatever it is. I love that they have a little storage section right here. That is genius. Like I said, I am a Gryphon girl. I just love their machines. So I've never had something like this before, but I love, love, love this option right off the bat. I think that is going to come in such good handy. Number 4 is your work surface. And of course, that is this entire area right here, essentially. So this is the work surface area of your grinder. Number 5 is your face shield. This I am also really, really excited for. So let's move this grinder out of the way. That's what this is right here. So this is MagnaShield. So this is a magnifying lens, the largest shield available, high impact acrylic, fits most makes and models, grinder accessory shield from Inland. This thing is huge, you guys. That is massive. So I'm really curious to see if having such a large shield like this actually cuts down on the amount of glass bits being flown across your room, or if it doesn't make that much of a difference anyway. It is a much larger shield than I've ever had before, so I will be paying attention to if it actually does stop a lot of those grinder bits or glass bits from flying all over the room. So I'm really excited about this. This is, again, number 5, our face shield. So number 6, we've got our 1-inch standard bit sir, and that is this bit right here that came inside the little accessory bag with the manual itself. Then number 7, we have our grinder splash guard. I will say this one is quite small. It is a modest splash guard, that is for sure. Clicks right in place there. But like I said, that is a pretty small splash guard. I'm used to having quite large ones. I wonder if you can purchase that separately. Number 8, you got your secondary work surface, which is right here. Love that. And it looks like we've got more sponges inside here, which I love. So we've got another little user guide into our second story work surface. So it says second story work surface, L-shaped coolant sponge, built-in coolant reservoir, large diameter peg, 2 pieces, small diameter peg, 2 pieces. That's everything right here. I do like this L-shaped coolant sponge. I think that is really, really convenient. And this is going to tell us exactly how to assemble it. So we will hold on to this for now. Number 9, we've got 1-inch 100 grit diamond grinder bit with an Allen wrench, which again, it comes with 2 Allen wrenches, which I absolutely love. Number 10, we've got our 1/4 inch diamond grinder bit, which again, you can call this a 1/4 inch or you can call it a whole bit, same thing. And of course, comes with the Allen wrench. So many people don't even know that bits like this exist. Even just a basic whole bit or 1/4 inch bit, never mind bits like your ripple bits or the more obscure bits like that. I've done videos like that on my channel already. I want to do an updated one, but so many people don't know that there are many, many different types of grinder bits out there. So I love that they not only provide you with a regular 1-inch bit, but they also give you a whole bit as well. These are super, super convenient to have. I use them all of the time. Number 11 is coolant sponges. Love that they're giving you multiple coolant sponges. There is nothing like a grinder sponge. You cannot just take a kitchen sponge, cut it up, and expect it to perform the same way a grinder sponge does. But there's just something different about glass grinder sponges. They are nowhere near the same as a kitchen sponge. They just absorb, hold, and distribute water a lot differently than a normal sponge does. Now we're going to get to the assembly part of the grinder. I won't bore you guys with all of these directions. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, so I think we can just start putting this grinder together and take a look and see what this thing actually looks like. I'm so excited. Okay guys, I take that back. I do actually want to read you at least a few bullet points of these directions, just because there are some good tips and tricks in here, some lessons that I've had to learn the hard way before we get to actually putting this thing together. So number 1, it's talking about filling the coolant reservoir. It says a water/coolant mixture prevents airborne glass dust, increases grinding speed, and prolongs the life of diamond surface on the grinder bits. Now, have I ever used coolant inside one of my grinders? No. Do I recommend it? Sure. I always say follow the directions, because that's going to give you the best bang for your buck and give you the most life out of any machine that you purchase. So because they are so heavily recommending coolant, luckily I do already have a bottle, but it doesn't come with any. So if you don't have any, I wouldn't freak out too much about it, but it does say it in the directions. So if you can get your hand on some coolant, go ahead and use it. And it says important notes down here: never pour water directly onto the grinder bit or down the motor shaft. Do not overfill the coolant reservoir. Overfilling can create an electrical shock and damage the motor. Do not use antifreeze as a coolant. So it tells you how to install the actual grinder bit, but down here on number 3, it says before installing the grinder bit, apply a thin coat of Inland Craft motor shaft lubricant. This is not included to set to the motor shaft. This is to prevent the set screw from seizing to the motor shaft. This is what I've had to learn the hard way on one of my grinders. I have had the set screw seize against the shaft itself, and I was never able to get it out. I tried drilling it out. I tried everything. I was never able to get it out. So learn from my mistakes. Absolutely put lubricant on your motor shaft. Again, this is to prevent the set screw from seizing to the motor shaft. Metal against metal under pressure and over time can bond. Loosening the set screw between uses also can prevent this. If you do not have the Inland Craft motor shaft lubricant, you can use a small amount of Vaseline. That's what I would recommend you do. It should work just fine. If the bit is stuck, please review our FAQ at inlandcraft.com/FAQ first. If you still need assistance, please contact Inland Craft and gives you a phone number. So yeah, I think now we can get ready to actually put this grinder together and see what it looks like all in one piece. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, that is pretty freaking cool. Look at the difference in magnification. So you've got this magnified area right here. So when I'm sitting like this, it is extremely magnified. I can see exactly what I'm doing. It seems like this grinder bit is rubbing up against It is. It's rubbing up against the side of that plastic. That's not good. I love that there's a little note inside here. Can you guys see that? It says always wear eye protection right there. See? They are not wrong. You are absolutely always supposed to be wearing eye protection while you're using a glass grinder. Okay, so there's no other way for me to sit this inside of here. So I am quite concerned about this plastic piece hitting the side of the bit. Okay, now it doesn't seem to be as much. All right, it doesn't seem to be hitting it anymore. So I guess I just adjusted it enough. Weird. Yeah, because that grinder bit was rubbing right up against that plastic pretty heavily, which is concerning, but seem to have fixed it. Let's put our MagnaShield back on. That is too cool. I will say I do wish there was a way for me to flip this up and down, because I don't think I'm going to always want that magnification. Yeah, I just wish there was a way for me to flip this up and down. I do love how large it is. Absolutely, it is really, really nice. But if I was to make any suggestion at all, they need to just figure out a way for this to be flipped up and down easily versus this terrible squeaking put it on sideways if you want it just out of the way, but I still want to be able to use the shield. I absolutely love how large the surface of the shield is, but I do wish there was just a way for me to flip it up and out of the way if I don't feel like looking through that magnification spot. So far so good. Everything feels really quality, looks really nice. I love all of the extras. I love the storage compartment, everything about it, the colors, of course. I'm happy. I'm really pleasantly surprised. I figured I was gonna open this thing and of course be happy with it because it was a grinder, but again, I am a Gryphon girl, but this feels really nice. So I cannot wait to dig into this and actually get to use it for the first time and use this little magnet shield. Like, stop, this is so cool. So again, the only suggestion I would have is the ability to be able to just flip this shield up and down if I don't feel like using this, because I do that often, not only my regular grinders, but my ring saws as well. I want the option to be able to flip the shield up and out of the way if I don't feel like looking through a magnified spot. As you guys know, I talk a whole lot, so we're gonna stop this video right here, and you guys are gonna have to wait until the next video to get my first impressions on actually using this grinder. Today's video was simply just opening it and unboxing it and getting a first look at this grinder itself. I was dying to see what it looks like. So all in all, I'm super impressed already. You guys know I am a Gryphon girl through and through, but I am also a bells and whistles girl. I love all of these little extras that they are putting into this grinder. This magnet shield is absolutely incredible. Again, the only critique I would have of that is why didn't they make it an option to be able to flip this thing up and down, because I'm not always going to want to look through this magnifying lens. But I also think that is going to mess with my eyes a little bit. If I'm grinding a much larger piece, I still want a face shield, but I don't want to be looking through this magnified area all of the time, I don't think anyway. But that's something we're gonna find out over the next couple months as I use this thing. I promise you guys this will be the only grinder I am going to be using over the next couple months as I get to know it, so I can give you guys my complete thoughts and opinions on this grinder in a couple months after I've been using it as much as I use grinders. You guys know I'm really hard on my grinders. I grind a lot of glass, so I'm gonna put this thing to the test. I'm not gonna use any of my other grinders during that time, so I can give you guys a true, thorough review of this grinder when that time comes. So like I said, I'm very impressed. I love both the extra bits, the extra Allen wrenches, the multiple sponges, the secondary platform, this magnet shield, the little compartment up front here. I love everything about this grinder so far, just based on looks alone. The quality feels fantastic. I'm really excited, you guys. I cannot wait to use this thing. So like I said, we're both gonna have to wait until next week's video to test this out and see what it feels like to actually use this glass grinder, but so far so good. But we'll see next week what my true thoughts are on this thing once we actually get to use it, and then over the next couple months as I use this as my main and only grinder. I'm gonna pretend I don't have any of my other grinders. This will be the one I pull out every single time I have to grind glass. So with all that being said, you guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video if you did, comment down below and let me know what do you want to see next, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.